Hi, good evening. Here as another voice for the Fostering Community Trust ordinance. Let me start by giving you a little background on my perspective. I'm a local girl. I was born in D.C., raised in Silver Spring in Maryland, and I'm also the daughter of an African American military brat and an African immigrant. So I have had my own brushes, and my family has had its own brushes with racism and xenophobia. So I'm just going to be speaking personally. I've been spelling my name for various people since I was 8. So, and I'd say, growing up in this region, I've been very fortunate to never have a serious fear of racialized violence. And that sadly changed after the election when hate crime spiked. And my husband and I were asking each other, where should we go if things get really bad? And a little bit of research showed that we were in the best place for our family. This region, the district, Virginia, Maryland, is the best region for interracial families. And I also personally can say that I have had nothing but positive interactions with the Rockville police, which sadly many African American people across this country cannot say. So I'm aware of how wonderful my current living situation already is, and I know this kind of thing doesn't happen by chance. It's the work of government and community fostering that kind of environment, and so it's the choice that we make. And passing the Fostering Community Trust Ordinance is one more choice like that to create the community we want. And here I want to speak plainly. Opponents often paint a good immigrant, bad immigrant picture in terms of who the ordinance is protecting or abandoning, and I think that this is a galling failure of imagination. We saw in the news in the recent weeks that when a clumsy executive order was penned, the people swept up in it were innocent green card holders, mothers, children handcuffed for hours and detained in airports. And we've seen youths in jail because their name was kind of like a name that was on the wrong list. These are just mistakes being made, and they're not happening to members of the general public because our local police haven't been deputized to be fulfilling ICE orders. I think that everyone who has a last name that they have to spell over the phone should be concerned about what this crusade against undocumented people might mean, whether Asian, African, or Latino. And I think that passing the Fostering Community Trust Act is drawing a line in the sand and rejecting the sort of xenophobic panic that led to our great national shames like the Internment Act, the Japanese Internment, or Chinese Exclusion Act. It's a choice that we can make in Rockville to keep our community the way that we want it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.